On it, but that's how it comes out. Walaikum assalam, brother. Thanks for joining. So it's the matter of removing this filter, and it kind of comes out in this fashion. If it comes out in one piece, if it doesn't and it's broken, not a big deal. Just get rid of all the broken pieces and just replace it with the new filter. Okay, so that's all we need to do. And as you can see, this pipe here that was connected at the front is the flow pipe, the 22mm flow pipe that's going to your heating floor. And behind it, if we have a look at behind this plate, we can see that this pipe is going to the plate-to-plate heat exchanger, and the filter is allowing all the water that's coming down the main heat exchanger to go through to the heating circuit unfiltered. But if it needs to go to the heat exchanger on top, plate-to-plate heat exchanger, that will be filtered water. So that's what it's doing. They just deteriorate, correct, buddy? Yes. So that's what happens to them. So yeah, that's how we would change a canoe filter, and then it's the matter of putting it back together in reverse order that we removed it. It's just trying to put it back in. And there we go. That's all back in now, and the clip goes back in as well. There we go. So clips back in as well. No, that's absolutely fine. As if I sound funny, just edit it, buddy, before you do anything to it. That's not a problem at all. Okay. No, that's absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine, Asif. Not a problem at all. But yeah, so that's how we will change this canoe filter here. Does anyone, for any reason, want me to remove this plate-to-plate heat exchanger? You want to see how easy it is to remove or anything? Yes, very well. This one is a plastic block, as you can see, not a brass one, but older boilers or different models, they did have the brass one as well. Okay, Satu, so you want me to remove the plate-to-plate heat exchanger? I'm not sure if there's any water in it, to be honest, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Just give us a minute, please. Let's see. So, as the system is fully drained, this is the ideal time to remove this plate-to-plate heat exchanger and give it a clean as well. So let's see. Plate-to-plate heat exchanger on these boilers is held by 4 screws, and it comes out fairly easily normally. Let's see. On certain boilers it's mounted at the back and you have to remove so many things to get to it. But Vaillant isn't like that. That's why I love working on Vaillants compared to any other boiler. Ooh, that was tight. Come on, guys, I'm working so hard here. I'm sure I deserve some likes at least. Ooh, there we go. Thanks for the likes, guys. Keep that going, please. That encourages me. All of these hearts, bloody hell. Oh yeah. Okay, let's remove this and hope it's not going to have a lot of water in. Okay, so all I've done so far is I've removed 4 screws, and let me just quickly remove this sensor as well. So we have, as you can see, this thermistor connected onto the plate, so I've just removed that. And we've ended up with this lovely plate-to-plate heat exchanger, nice and clean. So the bottom two holes are for the heating water, I should say, the dirty water that goes through it, and the top two holes are one for cold water entry, and the other side is the hot water when it comes out once it's been kind of heated up. So that's how it looks like. So the boiler isn't brand new, buddy, but I think it's only about 12 months old, this boiler. So yeah, that's all. That's how we do it. And it's a matter of obviously taking this to a point where you're going to clean it all, possibly outside, under outside tap or kitchen sink, whatever. And it's just a matter of making sure that we rinse it thoroughly. Depending on how bad the condition is, we may have to put some liquid into it, some cleaner into it to clean it out. But once we've done that, it's just a matter of putting it back on in the reverse order. So let's just quickly attach that back, so I'm not leaving all of these parts out. Okay fellas, let's put this back together. Come on guys, please answer any questions that somebody may have, because I can only do one thing at a time. I think that's the only down point of being a bloke, that we can't multitask. I truly believe that's the only down point of being a bloke, if I'm honest. I won't admit to anything else. Okay guys, so what we've done this evening is we replaced the canoe filter, as well as removed this heat exchanger, give it a clean, inspected it to make sure it's not blocked. Gave it a thorough shake. If it was really mucky, you can buy all sorts of different spirits to put into it, leave it for a bit, rinse it out. You can buy this machine as well. I don't know the actual name of it. I don't certainly own one, where you can put it into that machine and it kind of cleans it out somehow. So you can do all sorts to it. It's a Vaillant. It's a Vaillant Ecotech Pro 28. Okay, so that's how we can replace this canoe filter, change, clean, or inspect blade-to-blade heat exchanger whilst the system is fully drained. Ideal time to inflate your expansion vessels as well, and inspect anything else that you wanted to inspect, really. No, it's only an R2, buddy. It's not R6, it's an R2 model. Guys, 129 people watching, 567, 68 likes. Come on guys, come on, let's top that up please. And hear me thinking somebody's going to give me some flowers here. I don't think that's going to happen, is it? I mean, are there any good boilers for rental properties? These are amazing boilers, I mean, if one can afford them, really. Really good boilers. Sorry guys, I'm struggling to catch up with the comments. Thermistor's not on, is it? I'm not sure which one it is. Oh, are you referring to this thermistor? Well pointed. No, it's not on yet. It will be on soon. There we go. Thermistor is now on. Perfect. Well spotted there. Vaillant is the #1 boiler. Yes, I would agree. I would definitely agree. Good boilers, not to worry about it. A lot easier to work with, reliable, good customer service, and easy to get the parts as well. So yeah, good boilers. Guys, today I went to a couple of boiler repair jobs. One was a Vaillant F27 fault. Can anyone guess what that might be? Come on, engineers, don't be looking into your manuals and stuff. On top of your head, what F27 might indicate on a Vaillant boiler? What do you reckon? Yes, certainly. We can have a look at the app and it will give us the codes. Yes, that's it. Perfect. So it is sensing flame rectification with the gas valve closed, ignition failure. So what do you guys normally find the problem to be? Do you find it that is the PCB, is the ignition electrode, is the cable? What do you normally find it as? Because I went and without doing any testing, I just put a new PCB, well, not a brand new, but second-hand PCB into it. It worked perfectly fine, and 10 minutes later, the boiler was back on. Customer, it was a rented property, customer, it was an old boiler, customer wanted, they didn't want to spend on a brand new PCB. I had a refurbished one on board, everything was fine. What about you guys? Yes, that's it. So it was definitely PCB. I didn't bother with anything else, if I'm being honest. Just changed the PCB, and yes, it was perfectly fine. Fellow gas engineers, are you guys comfortable with changing PCBs on these boilers? And if you're not, do you want to have a quick look on how to remove an existing PCB and change it with a new one? Yes, May. This is where a bit of experience comes in, to be honest. Sometimes you want to do thorough testing of everything, and I'm one of those that I like to know what's actually wrong with it. But some faults, they are very specific, and if you've done several of those, you will find out that there's no point wasting time on a lot of testing now. You know what may be wrong with it, and you can just quickly get to that and get to your next job. It is simple plug and play. Exactly. I'm not going to teach you guys how to suck eggs, but it's definitely a simple plug and play job. ABP, what was my profession before becoming a gas engineer? I used to wind motors, work in a workshop, my uncle's workshop. Fix washing machine, fridges, refrigeration work, electrical wires with my other uncle. So I've always been, from a very young age, been doing this kind of stuff, buddy. There's no bias flashing involved. Exactly, as if, yep, you don't have to mess about with installing drivers and stuff like that. Not that many people install drivers nowadays since Windows XP, but okay guys, so wiring a thermostat is the easiest part, buddy. We can go through it if you like. We can have a quick look. All it's going to cost you is a few roses, Johnny, but I can demonstrate multiple ways of how you can easily wire up a thermostat. Am I ignoring you? No, sorry mate, I'm not ignoring you. I don't think I'm catching up with all the messages at this stage, to be honest. But please, Asif and the rest of you guys, whoever can answer these questions, please do. Guys, it's not just me who's a gas engineer in here. There are many professional gas engineers watching right now, and I'm sure they will be answering your messages accordingly. Okay guys, so let's have a quick look. Then. To remove this cover from the PCB, we literally have plastic hinges on this side, a couple of plastic hinges on this side here, and we can just remove this PCB cover. Once removed, We are looking at the PCB now. I'm not sure if the camera is positioned correctly. I hope it is. So now we're looking at the PCB. Now, depending on what we wanted to do here, whether we were doing some testing or we wanted to change the PCB completely, depending on what the job at hand was. To change this PCB, should we change the PCB, guys, first, or should we do anything else to it? Can I change the camera to see the heat exchanger? Please, that's not a problem, buddy. Let's have a quick look at the heat exchanger. I believe you want to have a look at the main heat exchanger, is it? That's what it looks like. Oh, guys, thanks for the gift. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's have a quick look. Okay, so PCB itself, should we change the PCB, guys, or you want me to do something else to it? Work on it, test it, anything like that? Or should we just try to replace it? Should we take it out and replace it with another one? Look at this, guys. We've got another PCB here. We can simply change it to this PCB if you like, because we've diagnosed with F27 fault the PCB that's in there, that's faulty. So should we change it? How much is the PCB worth? £195, I believe, from my local merchant. I'm not sure how much it may cost you where you guys are based. Okay, guys, let's just change this PCB then. Let's have a look. So obviously, to get to this far, your boiler needs to be safely isolated from electricity. Okay, I can't stress that enough. Under no circumstances be tempted to work live. Make sure you've turned your fuse spur off, you've removed the fuse, you've proved dead to make sure that there's no power coming to it. Okay, make sure you've done all of that. So once you've done all of that, you want to make sure that all the connectors are removed. So this connector is the main connector that was in here. Okay, so we remove this connector. Normally you will have a cable coming, the main supply cable coming from here. So then once this connector is removed, then that's out of the way. Pump connection removed, ignition cable removed, earth cable, earth connector removed. These two connectors on PCB, the red and the blue one, removed. And then the last connector to remove is this white connector that's for display screen at the bottom. So once we have done that, anti-static band, I like that, yes, why not? There are a few little plastic clips holding this PCB in place. There's no screws on here. Okay, so 2 hooks removed, 3rd hook removed, and we can simply remove this PCB. And if we wanted to change the display one, which is at the bottom, again, very simple, no screws holding it, just the plastic hooks, and we can just take that out as well. Guys, you guys have moved on to computers. We're talking about boilers here. Don't worry about it, everything will be fine. Okay, so with the new PCB, it's just a matter of putting it back in the reverse order. Place it back, clip it, all the connectors back in. Red goes to red, blue goes to blue. This white connector goes on where it came off from. That's on. Earth connector back on. Ignition electrode back in. And then that will leave us with this main connector here back in. That's how long it takes to replace a PCB on this. Now, depends on where you purchase your PCB from. You may have to then program it. When you turn your boiler on, you may be faced with a fault. I believe is... Can't remember on top of my head now. I thought it was something to do with 97, F97 or something like that. But if you're faced with that, then you will have to just put the correct DSN number in, and it will just marry that PCB that you just put into the boiler that it's gone in. Very easy to do. If you bought a brand new PCB, you will receive instructions with it. If you have got a second-hand PCB, contact me and I can tell you how to do it, or you can have a look on YouTube. But with the brand new PCB, you get the actual instructions with it. And if you guys are interested, let me know, send me a message, and I can scan this and send you as well. Okay, so that's that. So that's how we change a PCB. Guys, who's interested in turning this boiler on? Let me just put the PCB cover back on to make it safe. Anybody interested in seeing this boiler turned on this table here? Okay, let's have a quick look. Guys, it's a pro version, it's not a plus. So on screen, it gives us codes and stuff, but it doesn't actually give us in writing of what those codes mean, really. But we can get to it. I'm sure we can, between us all, I'm sure we can get to where we need to be, really. Let's have a quick look. Okay, let's just turn it on. Let's see. Guys, if anything goes wrong, there's only one person to be blamed, and that's Asif. Okay, let's have a look. Okay guys, I'm not too sure if you can see the screen properly, but the minute I've turned this boiler on, it's giving us F22 fault, and it's also showing us 0.0 bar. F22, guys, help me. What is the boiler trying to tell us here? What is the boiler saying, guys? Pressure. So we have a pressure problem. Obviously, this boiler is sitting on this table here. Guys, think of a way to put some pressure into this boiler. Come on, I need a valid way of filling this system up right now. No pipes connected to it. The boiler is sitting on my table here in my boiler den. How can we tell the boiler that we have some pressure? Can we? Kelvin loop valve, pressure sensor, can it be linked out? Pressure sensor cannot be linked out to my understanding, because the pressure sensor, it moves, and with the reading of it, it tells the boiler how much pressure there's in. Not linking out. Okay guys, so we're not linking anything out. Okay, let's see guys. I'm removing the sensor out of its slot. Let's have a quick play with this sensor, guys, should we? So sensors here. Don't worry, it's all low voltage here. Don't worry about it, guys. It's not live. How does this sensor detect water pressure, guys? How does it do it? Obviously, it's got a diaphragm, water flow, Yeah, so when the pump runs, it actually checks that as well. So let's see. It's giving us the same fault on the screen as you can see, F22. Let's just create a bit of pressure, guys, for us. Let's just fill the system. 1.5 bar. Okay, let's just do one more thing. Just to be on safe side, I've removed one connection, close it back up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a bit of pressure for us so we can move on to the next screen. All I'm doing is forcing this diaphragm, excuse me, I think I need some food now. Okay, so forcing this diaphragm, or pressing this diaphragm down a bit, which is now giving us some pressure, and it's giving us 2.1 bar pressure. I think I'm gonna take some pressure out. 1.9, 1.6, 1.7. The boiler's going through a self-test as we speak. If we press these two buttons, the boiler should tell us what it's checking, what it's testing, or what sequence is going through. S03 I believe is the ignition sequence. So the boiler currently, as we speak, is going through a self-test mode. Soon, obviously, we have no gas connected to it. The boiler will go to lockout, and the boiler will give us burner ignition asset. Thank you. So soon it will kind of lock out on us because it won't be able to light up as there's no gas present here. So we'll just wait for that to happen. And whilst we're waiting for that, fellas, don't stop all the likes and flowers and the shares and the YouTube channel and everything, guys, all at the same time, please. Usually after 3 attempts. Okay, guys, so F28 is moved to F28 fault now. If we have a look at F28, that should be ignition failure. Flame rectification didn't detect anything. There was no gas. So obviously we have this problem now. Okay, now obviously that needs resetting. Guys, what's the code to get into this boiler? And obviously this is strictly for gas engineers or trainee gas engineers under direct supervision. What's the code to get into it? Thanks, Asif. Perfect. So we put the code in. Oh, my hand's tired now. I don't need to hold this pressed anymore. Let's just move that out of the way. Okay, you sit there. That's fine, guys. So we put the code in. Now we are on D codes. What are D codes, guys? What do D codes tell us on this boiler? What are D codes for? Diagnostics. Simple. And there are quite a lot of these D codes, depending on which model we're working on, but going all the way up to 96. Heartbeat, exactly, buddy. So D96 it goes up to. And in this book, which I hope that all of you have it by now, and if you don't, all you need to do is you send me a message on TikTok. Send me 5 flowers on here on my live, and just send me a message with your phone number, with your WhatsApp number, and I can just ping this over to you. I'm only joking about the flowers side, guys. I'm not charging anything for this. It's just to help you guys out, okay? It's just my sense of humor. I'm a Yorkshire man. I'll always be asking for stuff. So okay, so this is what gives us all the information about these codes. Okay, so looking at the codes, we are on D codes now. D000. This is where this boiler can be range rated. If it's set to auto, it's going to work automatically. Not necessarily work automatically, but it's on auto, depending on how the heating system works, it will range rate itself. If we want to change it, whilst it's on auto, we can click the tick button, and then from auto, by going up or down, we can set it to 6 kilowatt, 7 kilowatt, 8 kilowatt, 9, 10, 11, and I think maximum it goes up to 24 kilowatt. So this boiler can be then set as such. Depending on what code we're looking at, I highlighted the ones which are more relevant to gas engineers on what they kind of need to look at. D14, D014, that's the pump speed target. D15, 015 will give us the actual speed of the appliance itself. D020 will give us the maximum domestic hot water temperature target. And so on and so forth. So that's how we can get to all the D codes. We can also get the readings for flow and return thermistors here. Let's have a quick look at those, because that's handy if you're trying to do some fault finding as well. So D40 is primary flow NTC temperature, and D41 is the return one. So let's have a quick look. So D40 should be around 7-8 degree, I would imagine. 11 degree. So D40 is reading 11 degree Celsius, and D41 is also 11 degree. So this is what the PCB is reading those sensors as. Once de-energized, and if we wanted to get the resistance reading of those sensors, we can do using a multimeter on ohm setting, and depending on how many ohms we receive on multimeter, we can then convert that to the temperature and then make sure that the sensors are reading accordingly. Obviously, if we are going as far as that, we need to make sure that we have a temperature clamp on our pipes to get the actual reading, actual temperature, and then try to work out the sensors and stuff. So that's how it needs to work. So that's how we kind of test these things. But guys, unfortunately, my phone's saying 9% battery. I'm in my boiler den. It's evening time. I'm hungry. I need to go home, grab a bite to eat. It was lovely having you guys here today. We will keep working on this boiler, and this is not the only boiler. We have Vaillant, Vaqueras in here, and we will get various boilers, and we will kind of work on these. So if you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to follow us. Check my other videos as well on this channel. I also have a YouTube channel that you can go to. There are some informative videos on there as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for joining today. I thoroughly enjoyed this session, and I'll be back hopefully during the week at some stage in the evenings, or definitely on the weekend again. But meanwhile, if you guys want me to demonstrate anything, to open anything up here, to show you guys it, please feel free to ask me. If you want any specific videos on certain testing or certain components testing, please let me know and we can make a video on that. Okay, but thanks for today. You guys take care, enjoy your evening, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care. Bye for now. Allah Hafiz.